Holy crap, this episode starts off with one of the greatest characters in Star Wars history, Ahsoka Tano. She's with her hood on, taking out soldiers left, right, and center, demanding for the prisoners to be freed, and not to suffer further under this tyrant of a queen. Who doesn't care about these people? How many more will die from her incompetence? And right there and then, Ahsoka Tano gives her 1 day to free the people or suffer the consequences. And I'm like, tell her, Ahsoka Tano, tell her, girl. I mean, it's Ahsoka freaking Tano, dudes and dudettes. And look at those shots, they look so good. I was screaming on the top of my lungs when they didn't decide to give us this character at the end of the episode or at the middle. They gave us Ahsoka Tano right from the beginning, and it was epic. After Ahsoka Tano gives them 1 day, I think the actor's name is Michael Biehn, and this bastard of a character tells the queen that they will be ready as soon as she returns. Those droids look so awesome though, and look who just came out of hyperspace. The anticipation was just killing me. They reach Corvus and Mando tells Baby Yoda to get back in its seat and strap in. But no, it still wants to play with that knob thing on the lever. You know, that little ball. And look at it climbing into its seat. It looks so adorable, and look at the baby. It's going crazy, it wants the ball, so much so that it uses the force to get it. Mando finally lands on Corvus and I'm like, what kind of creature is that? They head up into town, especially how Mando has never met a Jedi before. And I like that in this scene we got the classic line of, state your business. And he tells this general, I presume he is a general, that he is a hunter from the guild, with him simultaneously hiding Baby Yoda. I cannot handle the cuteness, oh my god. They let Mando in with him trying to get info. An old woman avoids him, and a guy helping 2 kids tells him that it is forbidden to talk to them. So you get some messed up vibes from the start. 2 guards show up, they tell him that the magistrate wants to talk to him, and while they're walking, 2 men and a woman are hung up in this crucifix electric style device, and this device or machine is programmed to electrocute them as soon as they resist or rebel. And look how this awful queen, this asshole of a woman, is living like a goddess while these innocent people are suffering from her holding them captive, isolated in slavery. And it reminded me that there are some people in society that like to throw the word lady and the word gentleman around like everybody deserves it. But that's further from the truth, because not everybody's a gentleman, not everybody's a lady, and a lady, especially in this case, is not supposed to do these things. I personally think that humans should earn the right to be called a gentleman or a lady. She offers Mando a Beskar spear to go kill this Jedi, Ahsoka Tano, and of course he takes up the offer because he needs to meet her. He needs to talk to her about Baby Yoda. And Mando is so clever that right before he leaves, Michael Biehn's character tells him, why do you even keep that thing? And he straight up tells him like, I keep it for luck. That was so smart. I love when Mando is showcasing his intelligence. And I love the fact that we finally got to see Mando and Ahsoka Tano fighting against each other before they eventually join forces to take on the enemy. He tells her that Bo-Katan sent him, and she realizes that it's for Baby Yoda. And at one point, Baby Yoda wants her to pick him up. Because later on we realize that his name is Grogu, and such a cute name. And when she wanted to pick him up, like the cuteness was so insane. I couldn't handle it. He's so cute, I can't take it. The music in this is just beyond fantastic. Like at one point we even get a little bit of Yoda's theme, which makes so much sense that they did that. Sometimes those are one of those little things where like you don't really focus on it until it actually happens. That moon shot of them standing together, Baby Yoda and Ahsoka Tano, is probably one of the greatest shots I've ever seen in Star Wars history. Like, it was just no words, no words. Baby Yoda and Ahsoka Tano start communicating. Mando starts asking her, do you understand him? Do you know what he's saying? And she says in a way because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau do a nod to a classic Star Wars Jedi ability of connecting through the mind. That's how we got to find out that this baby, this 50-year-old baby's name is Grogu. And his reaction when Mando called him Grogu twice, it's just so innocent and so pure. And we get to find out over the years that many masters have trained Baby Yoda at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. But at the end of Clone Wars, when the Empire rose to power, he was hidden, someone took him from the temple. Then his memory becomes dark. He seemed lost and alone, and she only knew one like Grogu, Master Yoda. And at one point when Mando is starting to learn about force powers, and I love the fact that that's happening, by the way, Grogu does the Yoda meditation stance, and I'm like, he's doing it! Somebody look at this, he's doing it! Oh my god, he's doing it! I can't believe it, this is amazing! And she tells Mando that the Jedi Order has fallen a long time ago. And her face when she said that, my emotions just went all over the place. Mando says so did the Empire, yet it still haunts him, so Grogu needs a Jedi to protect him. She sighs and says that she'll train him in the morning. I got mom and dad vibes when these two were standing together holding the baby. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Just saying. They start training by using a stone. Grogu does well, but he doesn't give the stone back. And Mando's father-like disappointment when Grogu dropped the stone was so relatable and so funny. And I immediately thought that fear might be the reason, that it might be anger as well, regarding somebody taking him away and next to his family and all that kind of stuff. And then Ahsoka Tano points it out. And my girl has grown up so much over the years. She is oozing wisdom. She is so wise. Her dialogue is just... She tells Mando to put the stone in the palm of his hand and tell Grogu to lift it up. I love that name so much. Because whether good or bad, firsts are always memorable. And look at these two, they already have this master and Padawan connection. Basically, in a way, telling Mando, patience my young Padawan, patience. He's not stubborn. And it's not only his fear and anger, it's also his attachment to Mando. Those are the reasons that makes her think that he might fall to the dark side. So she says that it's better to just let his abilities fade. On the one point, I can see where she's coming from, especially with what happened to Anakin. And her saying that was one of the most emotional things I think that I've ever seen Ahsoka Tano experience. And I just watched one of those episodes of Rebels where hearing Anakin's voice and him telling her, do you know what I have become? And then you see him basically like turning into Darth Vader. And she knows, but she still doesn't really go into detail, telling Mando, hey, this was my former master, and this is what he turned into. Look, I do agree with Mando that Grogu should get trained, but again, I can also see where Ahsoka's coming from. Maybe this is not such a good idea. I love that he's so oblivious to everything regarding the Jedi that he calls lightsabers laser swords. While briefing her on the army and their weaponry, the awful queen's name is Morgan Elsbeth, and here we learn that her people got massacred in the Clone Wars, and she let her anger fuel an industry of which helped build the Imperial Starfleet. She plundered worlds, destroying them in the process, and this ambush just makes sense because it's a Jedi and a Mandalorian. They would never see that coming. When this happened, I was like, oh, that's a boss move. Boss move. Then she force rolled the two halves of the bell like the goddess that she is. Then she threw in Mando's shoulder plate that has that creature on it that he beat in season 1, signaling that she has killed him. Ahsoka asks Morgan for her master, and then they start blasting, and we get that glorious shot of her deflecting beams on top of that roof. She leads them all away, and then Morgan gives the order to kill all the captives that have been hung up. and also go door to door. Like this Morgan, she don't play, she hardcore, she is cold AF. Mando swoops in, taking these fools out, and I love that when this guy watched on, that there was a sense of fight, a sense of bravery in him, that he was once again willing to help his people and helps to untie them. That made me think that, oh, he's definitely going to be the leader of this tribe. We see a Lafcat, I hope that I have pronounced that well, and I always love seeing those. And Ahsoka is just brilliant in her stealth attacks, like from the beginning of the episode until the end. One thing that I almost forgot to mention is the owl. She always has this owl with her, like wherever she goes. I think it's called the Morai, and I think it also has to do with the father, the son, and the daughter that we saw in Clone Wars. Honestly, when one of the droids was like parkour climbing up the roof, it was really cool to see how advanced these droids are. And it's time for the Western standoff, and it's also time for, a lot of people say, the samurai standoff, but it felt more to me like this was like a classic Eastern, like kung fu sword fight. So you had soldier versus soldier and wielder versus wielder. The only thing that was missing was me being there and saying, round one, fight. And you know Morgan is about to pull off some badassery with that spear. As soon as she hit it to the ground, I was like, oh my god. There was something about that was just like your whole body, you just felt it in your body, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to explain it, but it was, I felt it, I genuinely felt it. And Lang, you know, the general guy, he acts like he's just waving that white flag, but you know that he's gonna pull off one of the oldest tricks in the book. Well, he thought he would, but of course Mando had it scouted, and he takes him out because he's a cowboy, baby. And now the people who can finally say they're free come out, and I almost forgot about this damn droid. And then Ahsoka asks Morgan again, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? Such a beautiful sight, isn't it? As I thought, he becomes the leader. Throughout giving Mando the staff, she's still teaching. She's so wonderful. Thank you, Rosario Dawson, for starring as this character. The mixing of this music, just so marvelous. And what I've noticed from Mando throughout season 1 and season 2 is that he doesn't really know how to interact emotionally. And you can see how shy he is. So he is a poor baby himself. Grogu is all sleepy, and there's a point where Ahsoka Tano still tells him that she can't teach him, but there is another way, no pun intended. And she says go to the planet Tython's ruins of a temple which has a strong connection to the Force. Place him on the seeing stone on the top of the mountain. Then Grogu may choose his path. If he reaches out to the Force, then there's a chance that a Jedi may sense his presence and come searching for him. Another emotional part in this episode is that you can see how it pains her that there aren't many Jedis left. And the episode ends with them parting ways. If she's going against Thrawn, then of course she's looking for Ezra Bridger, knowing that those two have a connection. Guys and gals, freaks and geeks, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, smash the like button, and I will see you in the next review or breakdown, whatever you want to call it. Basically my thoughts of the next episode coming very, very soon.